At some of Alberta's neat history. The man who has previously brought us tales of boondoggles, scoundrels, even the occasional scalawag, is taking aim at our famous Rocky Mountains this time. Romancing the Rockies introduces us to some Mountaineers, Missionaries, even Marilyn Monroe, who said our history was boring. And Brian joins us this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Gord.
Very enjoyable book.
Well, thank you.
Is it as much fun for you digging around, finding these characters as it is for us to read about?
Oh, it is, because usually I start out and I don't know any of these stories. And I start digging in, and then I come across little nuggets and think, then I want to tell everybody about it.
You go way back to begin on this, too, don't you?
Yeah, because I thought, well, okay, if you're going to do something on the Rockies, let's start at the very beginning.
Where they started.
Sure, yeah. And of course, the natives, the Aboriginals.
Right.
And, but unfortunately, a lot of their stories were not written down.
Right.
And so you have to sort of jump very quickly over the first 10 or 11 centuries before the Europeans, right, and then the missionaries and the railway builders and so on.
Those railway builders, the missionaries, etc., these are names that you may go, oh, I didn't know that. We're going to just throw in some pictures now that you've got in your book, and then let's talk a little bit about them. And roll in the first one if we can now. We don't have the stills. Okay, they're getting the stills there. But anyway, basically, let's start with some of the names that I loved. Nordegg, I had no idea, was named after somebody who came to Canada from Germany and changed his name to Nordegg.
Changed his name. That's right, yeah. And there's been some question as to what the meaning of his name was. And they figured that the German Nordegg, that it means northwest corner. And he just found a place in northwest Canada, which he loved, so much so that he wanted all his family to see it. He brought his daughter out there, for example, and spent several months just showing her around, showing her the Rockies.
Martin Nordegg wanted Nordegg to be like the coolest place in town. He wanted toilets everywhere. He wanted to have this to be the fan possible, and he accomplished it for a while, right?
Yes, he did. But unfortunately, I think the problem was that with the indoor plumbing that they had, that the family, some of them were so large that they needed to turn the bathroom into a bedroom, and so that they used
more space.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll just go to the Kaibo out back. Marilyn Monroe came through, filmed the movie, and reading about this, everybody didn't really like the movie. The director didn't really want to do it. Robert Mitchum, the co-star, wasn't interested. Marilyn, though, really did charm everybody she came across, didn't she?
She certainly did, and she had that magic about her. And when she injured her ankle, first of all, she injured it in Jasper, and that picture was taken standing outside the motel when she was, and I think the daughter of the motel owner, Becker's Bungalows, just came out and said, "Smile, Marilyn," and snapped a picture, and she was very gracious about it. And then she injured it again then when she got to Banff, and at that point her hotel room, and she didn't go into seclusion. She was giving interviews from her hotel suite.
And I know a very funny line, too, was that all of the people who worked at the Banff Springs were fighting over drawing lots on who gets to push her around in a wheelchair. Right? What a thrill that would have been.
Exactly. Yeah.
Guys, if you can follow me, jump back now. I'm looking for Rogers. Rogers Pass. I go to the Okanagan every year. When I know it, I assumed it was some explorer or something. But Rogers was a guy who really did want to get his name. I don't think that's him there. He had the big bushy.
That's Nordegg,
That's Nordegg there, Martin Nordegg. So back one up, guys. I think it's 491. But Mr. Rogers, Major Rogers, I guess, he was really trying to find a way to cut through these parts.
How do you get through the mountains? Yeah. And in fact, the pass that he chose, he basically decided on a whim. He said, yeah, I think it should go that way. And the thing was that he had some serious doubts about it, but he just made a decision. Somebody has to make an executive decision, and so he made the decision. And the fear was that they get the trains
all the way
up the pass. And so, in fact, in the beginning, they used to take the dining car off the train because they just weren't able to get, and eventually then they cut the tunnels in and you know, changed the grade and so on. But really, it was just a whimsical decision, if you can imagine. I mean, here he is, a surveyor.
This is the way to get to the coast.
To know these things, and he just decides, okay, let's go that way.
Another great story, one of many in Romancing the Rockies, available at all fine bookstores, I'm assuming, Brian?
Indeed. Yes.
Good yarns again, and you know, with our centennial year, it's fun to read and learn about these things. Thank you, Brian, for coming in.
Thanks, Gord.
4 degrees.